Hello everybody, my name is Cogline3639. Welcome back to another video. Today in this one, I wanted to do a little discussion on the new Infernoble Knight support that's coming out in Duelist Nexus, which doesn't have an official TCG release date just yet. But yeah, I was tinkering around with it. I want to give you my thoughts on the deck itself. Now, I didn't make a video initially on the new support just because I love Infernoble Knights a lot, and I wanted to test out the cards first, because I know a lot of people were hyping up as good cards, but I was like, let's give it a test ride before I decide to give my full thoughts on it here. And to be honest with you, the new support is really good. I think Turpin is absolutely insane for the main deck stuff. Charlemagne as an extra deck monster actually gives you a purpose for this deck. It actually gives it a good idea of what you want the deck end board to look like, which is very good compared to before the support. It was like, you know, combo wombo heavy, going through like 13 cards in your extra deck just to make a decent board, while this is, you know, you're not going through as many extra deck stuff just to make a decent board yourself. The new Synchro 5 is absolutely insane to search any card that mentions Charles, which is very, very good with the new support as well. This level 1 here, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. It's good, but the reason why I have it in the side deck here and not in the main deck is because I wanted to try a version of the deck that doesn't lock you into warriors. This locks you into warriors. Even though it's a very good card, it locks you into warriors, and with the end board I was thinking in my mind and testing with, I wanted to just take it out for right now. It's a very good card, but I wanted to test without it just so I can see what the end boards could be if you're not locked into warrior monsters, for sure. Now, other things I've been testing with this deck is the Mikanko stuff, because they are getting their new support in this one equip spell that's the only one that really matters, which is a Reborn from Graveyard. You can send this off a Soul Day, which is very, very good. And then the level 5 itself can dump the Mikanko warrior monster here, and that being able, with the equip spell in Graveyard, being able to special summon this back, get you into this guy, which is absolutely insane, which can get you into the Snatch Steal, and you don't have to play the ritual for you to have a Snatch Steal in rotation there. It's a very good start to the deck. I feel like it gives you diverse plays. Being able to Snatch Steal on your end board just becomes a little bit better that way. It's very good. The only problem with this is you have to have Turpin in rotation if you're going to go down this line. If you don't have Turpin in rotation, then you absolutely just cannot go down this line, because if you don't, then the level 5 send has to be Turpin so you can get to your Charles plays and stuff. And that's why I'm playing 3 Turpin, just so I can see it in rotation. I'm also playing the Phantom Knight version as well. Now, the reason why I'm playing this is because I stole this from previous versions of the builds that I've been playing with. This helps you make Apollousa, and the reason why I want to make Apollousa is because Nibiru absolutely destroys this deck, because you're not ending on an Omnigate unless you're ending on a Mortal Phoenix Gearfield like early. But, you know, that's half the time you can, half the time you can't. Apollousa just making this is just a guaranteed way you can summon it off a Soul Day and still go into plays, because you get Shade Brigadine after you make the Apollousa by banishing the Silent Boots. It gets you Torn Scales back onto the field, gets you a Shade Brigadine, and then if you have any other level 1 tuner like Oliver or Renaud, then you absolutely can just go off and do your level 5 stuff and still do your plays while being protected by something like Apollousa, which I like very much, so I'm trying that as well, just because Nibiru does hurt this deck a lot, so I do want to try to play around as much as I can. And so far, I do like this version of the deck. I think it does have its flaws. Again, it's not really diverse when it comes to extension plays. You know, hitting the Soul Day really does hurt because you're trying to get into the Torn Scales, and then your extension is really only something like Fire Flint or Renaud or the Oliver you have in hand. And since Hulk is banned now, there's no more extension into Hulk. So that's the unfortunate part about this version of the deck, is that you just don't have enough extension unless you know, hard draw the Turpin with the Renaud and Oliver all in rotation and stuff. But it's something I'm going to keep trying with, just because Nibiru is very devastating as well. So this is I like this version, especially with this Mikanko equip spell, because this Mikanko equip spell is a going second card as well for the deck, because if you just equip it to one of your opponent's monsters, they don't respond, they're losing that monster, and you're getting a body off of it as well, which is very, very good. Again, probably a lot of things wrong with this list, but I just wanted to put it out there just to have a little discussion with it, just because I feel like this is a decent version of the deck. We're going to get into combos in just a second, but again, I feel like this deck is good. I know there's other versions. You know, you're playing the level 3 or level 1 because this is a really good extension tool if you haven't used your normal summon or something like that. Or if it's, you know, you can banish this card to special summon a level 4 Fire Warrior from your hand and treat it as a tuner, which is absolutely insane as well. So it might be wrong not to play this, but I'm not playing it right now just because I want to see what the deck can do without being locked into Warriors. I know the field spell locks you, but you usually have the Charles on the field. With Charlemagne being Charles, it doesn't lock you into Warriors or something like that. So yeah, enough about me talking about the deck or whatever. Let's get into the combo I have with this deck. Alrighty, now on to a combo I want to show off of the deck. Again, this is uninterrupted what it can do, and also you have Turpin in rotation as well, just because I feel like the end board with this is very good and I want to keep trying with it, and that's why I'm releasing this video to kind of put ideas out there with this deck, because I feel like the new support's good. We just got to figure out what we want to do with the deck here. So we'll go ahead and go standby main phase. Normal summon connector effect here. Trigger the Aqua Dolphin effect. Pitching the Turpin. Look at the hand, see whatever they have, you know. And then we'll make the Isolde, and then we'll do a Isolde effect, adding the Super Quantum Red Layer to hand. And then, again, Super Quantum Red Layer can be anything. It just needs to be a Fire Warrior monster for you to discard later for something like Oliver, so it doesn't really matter what you add off Isolde. Will trigger effect Sending 3. Will send the new Mikanko Eclipse spell, Living Fossil, and Divine Sword Phoenix Blade to special summon out Torn Scales here. And then we'll do Divine Sword Phoenix Blade effect, banishing the 2 warrior monsters we have, to go ahead and search the Phoenix Blade to hand. And then Torn Scales effect, pitching the Phoenix Blade, dump Ancient Cloak effect to search out Silent Boots. And then we'll go ahead and special summon out the Silent Boots. And now they have to nib here, or you get the Appaloosa, and nib is now turned off. So we'll go, and this makes the Appaloosa line, which now you can play around nib safely. Now we'll go Silent Boots effect, banishing, adding Shade Brigandine. That triggers Torn Scales effect in graveyard to special summon. We'll set and then activate Shade Brigandine. Chalice to search Oliver. Now we have Oliver in rotation. We'll do Oliver effect, pitching the Super Quantum Red Layer. We have a level 1 Oliver because of its own effect, and a level 4 Shade Brigandine. That lines up for the level 5, which will let us search the field spell for the deck. We'll activate the field spell, trigger its effect, paying 1200 to search Durandal because we haven't activated Durandal this turn. We'll go ahead and do Oliver effect, targeting the Synchro. Synchro effect will trigger since it was targeted, sending the Mikanko Fire because it can send any Fire Warrior monster from deck to graveyard, special summon the Royland. Then we'll go effect of the Mikanko Fascinating Bird to special summon out the Mikanko, then equipped. And since it's in that rotation, we can trigger the Fire Warrior Mikanko to search a equip spell. We already had this one in rotation, but it's fine. This is, again, just to show you what it can do. And now we'll activate that, trigger its effect to special summon out the other one. That's a Snatch Steal. We're not locked into Warriors, so that's not a problem with us. And then the new Mikanko guy gets banished because of the effect of the equip spell that was equipped to it. Then effect of Turpin, since we have a card that is equipped, we can special summon it out, and then this lines up for a 9. This gets us into our Charles. We'll go Royland effect in graveyard to equip to Charles, and then link off into Charlemagne. Charlemagne's effect triggers and copies the effect of Charles, and then equips Charles. Field spell effect will trigger to special summon out Charles. Should lock us into Warriors, but it doesn't here because Charlemagne is a Infernoble Knight Charles, so it doesn't lock us into Warriors. That's not a problem. Now that we have a Fire Warrior, we'll special summon out Renaud. Renaud effect to search out Living Fossil here. And then we have the 10 lined up. We can now make Baron de Fleur. Now, that could be your end board. You can end it there. You have the Appaloosa, you have a Snatch Steal, you have Charlemagne, which is a spell Trap Negate, and Charles, which is going to be that pop for you. And you have the Baron Negate as well. But the reason why I want to keep showing it off here is we have this Living Fossil. We special summon out Oliver. And this is a 7 lineup. Now we can go to something like a Power Tool Dragon, which can be very nice to keep extending combos. Maybe get Aqua Dolphin in rotation, start trying to rip hand and stuff like that, searching out something like DDR, which can be very nice, but it makes the deck a little bit more bricky. You would have to play more cards in the deck. You can also make something like Ancient Fairy Dragon as well, because now that's legal. You can pop your own field spell, get another field spell in rotation. I don't know what field spell you would search. Maybe like the Therion stuff? No, the Therion stuff is like whatever, because you don't have a machine, so it doesn't really matter for that. But again, just plays we can think about in the future. Here I just go ahead and make Apple, or not Apple, we'll make IP Masquerena with the 2. Oh my god, I did it again. Holy fuck. Let me go back to where we were at. So this makes the IP line, and this is your end board here. You have the Apollosa with 3 negates, Snatch Steal, Charlemagne, which is a Spell and Trap negate, plus the pop since it is Charles, IP Masquerena, and the Baron de Fleur negate, which I feel like is a very, very, very good end board for this deck, especially playing around that Nibiru as well. End phase effect of the Charlemagne, since it is Charles equipped to Oliver from deck, and Divine Sword, Phoenix Blade is whatever. We still had this Durandal in rotation too. That could have been another extender for something for us, but I just didn't continue there. Again, this is during your opponent's turn. You have the Snatch Steal. Still a monster. IP can link that and the monster into a Unicorn. Unicorn is a spin. Discarding whatever, doesn't really matter. Then you have the Baron negate, you have the Charlemagne spell trap negate, you have Apo for 3 negates, and then you also have Royland equipped, and then since Charlemagne is Charles, you have that pop as well. I think that's a very decent end board for something for us to think about. Again, it's a little less consistent because you are playing more cards like the Phantomite package, just so you can play around stuff, and you need to open the right extenders and stuff like that. I feel like this is something we could consider. I feel like it's very good. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Again, I want to see what your guys' opinions are on this deck, and hopefully we can continue to improve this deck where once the new support comes out, we can play it as a meta deck as well, because I really do miss playing this deck. Hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.